I believe the Hizmet Movement stands for commitment. I mean, to me, that's the key word there. It's a commitment to God. It's a commitment to the individual, a commitment to peace. I'm José Fernández. I am the Dean of the College of Arts and Humanities at the University of Central Florida, and I'm also Professor of History and Spanish. I first became involved in 2006. At that time it was known as the Nile Foundation, now it's the Atlantic Institute. And how I got involved was I'd received an invitation from this entity called the Nile Foundation. I didn't know what it was. It was for the annual dinner. At the dinner, I got to listen to three very interesting speakers. There was a Jewish rabbi. There was also Bishop Wensky of the Catholic Church here in Orlando, and Imam Musri too. And I figured this is something that is very, very interesting, having interfaith speakers. And then I became interested in the what we call the interfaith dialogues on Thursday. So that's how I became acquainted and an active participant too. I believe the Hizmet Movement stands for commitment. I mean, to me, that's the key word there. It's a commitment to God. It's a commitment to the individual, a commitment to peace, a commitment to understanding, a commitment to do good works here on earth. And because of that commitment, the members of the Hizmet movement have both my respect and my admiration also. Fethullah Gulen is one of our outstanding leaders in the world today. He leads in a quiet way. He leads in a quiet way, which means that you could be a quiet leader. He is a type of leader, of course, that he is not going to lead by issuing decrees in isolation or by intimidation. He leads by what I call example and inspiration. He is what I call an inspirational leader. I believe that he is he's a man for all seasons and a man for all peoples. I read one of his books, the very first one, and I read it about 3 years ago. And he certainly has a message. He has a message. There are some similarities there to one of my favorite, what I call figures in history, and there are some points there that makes you think of Rumi, you know, the great scholar, the great philosopher. I would say the great contributions of the Hizmet movement of Fethullah Gulen is to inspire people to do good works, to inspire people to better themselves, and to send a message really of solidarity among the peoples of this world, no matter what your faith is, no matter what your nationality, no matter what your nationality is. It is an all-encompassing movement with an inspirational leader. And what more can you get? There are many noteworthy, I would say, accomplishments. I would say that there are noteworthy features. One of the things that calls my attention is about the dignity of human beings, which is very much similar to our civil rights movement, of the civil rights movements. It is the idea that we're all children of God, and as children of God, we must respect everyone. And I do believe that there is some similarity, especially with the civil rights movement. Within, like I say, within the Muslim world, there is certainly, of course, there's a place for the Hizmet movement just by instilling a concept of understanding and of respect for everyone, and especially the dignity of human beings. The interfaith activities of the Hizmet movement, to me, is a salient. It's a salient feature. It is a salient feature because it brings people together. It brings people to discuss our similarities, our differences. It is when one attends one of the interfaith dialogue, you come out of it a better person just by listening to one another and respecting one another. I believe that education is the key that opens all doors. And the Hizmet movement, with the schools that they have, that they are sponsoring in different areas, and even in areas of conflict, that is opening the doors for children, because we must remember one thing, that our children today are going to be the leaders, our leaders for tomorrow. And I do believe that it's really giving them the formation, a type of formation which is also learning, and learning in different ways also. In our world, of course, it's very unfortunate that we have natural disasters. And that's very unfortunate. But it's also very fortunate to see an organization like the Hizmet movement providing relief, whether it be hurricanes, earthquakes, tsunamis, is always there. But not only the Hizmet movement provide relief when there are natural disasters, but they provide food for the elderly. For example, in our community, there are also humanitarian. There's a humanitarian endeavor also, like for example, for the some of the people of Africa with the cataract surgery. I know we're going to have one event very, very soon here for fundraising. So the Hizmet movement is always there for our fellow human beings. I always said that people who do good work, they are going to experience being slandered, being criticized for no reason at all. You know, the great Spanish writer Miguel de Cervantes. He said virtue would always be persecuted. Virtues will be persecuted, but the members of the Hizmet movement have one great weapon, and it's not a firearm or anything like that. It is one weapon which is very powerful, and that is the truth. And for all this slandering and all that goes on the part of people who are envious, there's always the truth. And the Hizmet movement has the truth. I was very fortunate that in 2007, I traveled with my wife to Turkey and a group of UCF professors. And there are many. I have many recollections. I mean, as a historian myself, just being in Turkey, which is the crossroads of civilizations, I had the opportunity to see what I taught on textbooks. But I would say equally important, or even more importantly, was to meet the people of Turkey. I know when we went, it was in March. It was cold outside, but it was very warmth in their heart of the people of Turkey, and the dialogues, and that I hope that they learn from me. And I know of one thing for sure, that I learned tremendously about Turkey from our exchanges from our dialogues. It was, as that commercial says, it was priceless. The visit was priceless.
There can be no better promotion for Turkey than what Hizmet does, by taking people from here, from Jacksonville and from various parts of the world to visit Turkey.
The Hizmet movement gives one an opportunity to understand other cultures by sitting down and having meaningful dialogue and conversation, and learn about the different points of view.